the Easy Way podcast, where simple tips become real results. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Hello to everyone listening to the Easy Way podcast. I am Peter, your English teacher, and we are back for another session. Today, we have a very practical topic to discuss regarding time and routines.
Hello, Peter. I am so happy to be here. I have been studying very hard at home, and I think I finally understand how to talk about my weekly schedule without making mistakes.
That is the goal for today. We need to master the difference between the prepositions on and in when talking about time. Many students confuse these two words.
It is very confusing. Yesterday, I heard someone say, in Monday, and it sounded very strange to my ears. I want to prove to you that I know the correct way to say it.
I am listening. Why don't you teach me what you learned? Tell me a story about a typical routine and explain why you choose specific prepositions.
That sounds like a fun challenge. I wrote a short story about a character named Busy Bob. His life is very organized. I will read it, and you can stop me if I make a mistake.
That is an acceptable plan. Please begin your story. I want to hear how Busy Bob organizes his weekdays and his weekends. Focus on the days of the week first.
Okay, here we go. Busy Bob is a very active man. On Mondays, he always wakes up very early to go to the gym. I used on here because we always use on for days of the week.
That is correct. Whether it is Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, the preposition is always on. Please continue with Bob's schedule for the rest of the week.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, Bob has long meetings at his office. See, I used on again because I am mentioning the specific names of the days.
You are applying the rule consistently. Now, I want to know about the parts of the day. Does he do things in the morning or the afternoon?
Yes, he does. In the morning, Bob usually drinks a large cup of black coffee. Here, I switched to the preposition in.
That is an important shift. Explain to our listeners why you changed from on to in for that sentence.
We use in when we talk about periods of the day, like the morning, the afternoon, or the evening. It feels like we're inside that block of time.
That is a very accurate explanation. In suggests being contained within a period. So what does Bob do later in the day?
In the afternoon, Bob eats a healthy salad for lunch. I'm sticking to the rule. In the afternoon. He never eats fast food.
Bob sounds like a very healthy person. Now, consider the time after work. How do you describe the time when the sun goes down?
In the evening, Bob likes to read books about history. I used in the evening because it is still a period of the day, just like morning and afternoon.
You are right. However, there is a major exception that usually traps students. What happens when Bob goes to sleep?
Ah, I know this one. The exception is night. We do not say in the night. We say at night. So, Bob goes to sleep at night. English is so tricky.
It can be tricky, but you identified the exception correctly. At night is the standard phrase. Now, let's go back to the days of the week.
Okay, back to the story. Bob works very hard on weekdays. I used on for weekdays because it refers to the specific days he's working.
Precisely. On weekdays works just like on Monday. Now, we need to transition to the best part of the week, the time for relaxing.
Everyone loves this part. On the weekend, Bob finally relaxes. In American English, we say on the weekend, right?
That is accurate for American English. We say on the weekend. In the UK, they might say at, but here we strictly use on.
I will remember that. On the weekend. So let me tell you what Bob does on Saturdays. On Saturdays, he visits his grandmother.
That is very kind of him. Does he visit her at a specific time of day? Try combining a day and a part of the day.
Ooh, that is a complex sentence. Let me try. He visits her on Saturday morning. Wait, do I use on or in there?
This is a common point of confusion. When you have both the day, Saturday, and the part of the day, morning, the day is stronger.
I see. So the day wins? Okay, so the correct sentence is he visits her on Saturday morning because Saturday demands the word on.
That is the logic. The day is the primary focus, so on is the correct preposition. What about Sunday?
On Sundays, Bob prepares for the next week. He cleans his house in the afternoon. I used two prepositions in one story segment there.
And both were used correctly. You said on Sundays for the day and in the afternoon for the time period. Your story is grammatically sound.
I am relieved. I was worried I would mix them up. It helps to think of on as a surface, like a calendar day.
Visualizing the calendar is a helpful strategy. You put a sticker on the day of the calendar. That helps you remember on Monday.
That is a great mental image. And for in the morning, I imagine jumping inside a box labeled morning.
Whatever helps you memorize the rule is valid. Now, I have a question to test you. What if I mention a specific date?
Specific dates? Like a birthday? I think dates are treated like days. So I would say on July 4th.
Correct. Even though July is a month, specifying the 4th makes it a day. Therefore, on is required.
But if I only say the month, I must use in, right? Like, Bob goes on vacation in July.
Yes. Months, years, and seasons always take in July, in 2024, in summer. You have a solid understanding of this.
Thank you. Now I feel confident describing my own routine, not just busy Bob's. My routine is very different from his.
I assume your routine involves more studying and fewer meetings. Tell me what you do on Fridays.
On Fridays, I am usually very tired from school. So in the evening, I just watch movies and eat popcorn.
That sounds like a relaxing way to end the week. And what is your plan for the upcoming weekend?
On the weekend, I plan to sleep a lot. And maybe on Sunday afternoon, I will do my English homework.
It is good to hear you plan to study. Consistency is key. Do you study in the morning or at night?
I prefer to study in the morning. My brain is fresh. At night, I am too sleepy to learn grammar.
That is a wise choice. Many people focus better in the morning. Let's do a quick recap of the story you told.
Sure. We followed Busy Bob. He exercises on Mondays. He has meetings on Tuesdays.
He drinks coffee in the morning. He eats salad in the afternoon. He reads in the evening.
And he sleeps at night. We cannot forget the exception.
Then on the weekend, he relaxes. And he visits his grandmother on Saturday morning.
It really helps to see the pattern. Days get on, periods get in. It's simple when you practice it.
Repetition is the mother of learning. Now, I want you to ask the listeners a question to check their understanding.
Okay, listeners, here's a question for you. If your birthday is in May, do you say, my birthday is on May or in May?
That is a trick question based on what we just discussed. If you only say the month, you must use in.
Exactly. But if I say the specific day, like May 5th, then it becomes on May 5th. Do not get tricked.
Accuracy with prepositions makes your English sound polished and professional. It's a small detail with a big impact.
I agree. Before, I was just guessing. I would say at Monday or in Friday. It must have sounded terrible.
Mistakes are part of the process. Identifying them and correcting them is how we improve. You have corrected yours today.
I feel much better now. I can talk about my weekly routine with confidence. No more guessing.
Let's conclude our lesson for today. We have covered the essential differences between on and in for time.
Yes. To summarize, today we learned to use on for days of the week, like Monday and Sunday.
We also learned to use on for specific dates and the phrase on the weekend in American English.
And we learned to use in for parts of the day, like morning, afternoon, and evening.
Finally, we noted the exception used for the end of the day, at night.
This was a great lesson. I'm going to write my schedule down right now so I don't forget.
Writing it down is an excellent idea. Thank you all for listening to the Easy Way podcast. Practice your prepositions.
See you next time. Have a great time on the weekend. Bye-bye.